for about 30 years. I've run my own super fund that whole time. I'm now retired, but I prefer to describe myself as a professional investor. I've been trading actively over about the last 7 years. And to give you an idea of how successful I've been trading, over the last 7 years, my return was exactly half of the All Ords accumulation index on my trading portfolio. My buy and hold was brilliant. I ran some back analysis on simple risk management. Assume a 9% stop was in place. My return went to 130%. I was literally doing all the mistakes, no risk management, not paying attention. This course was recommended to me by Trudy Parker, and I did a couple of the technical lessons, and then I thought I'll sign up for this because I've always been a bit suspicious of these 10% per month return claims, etc. I was pretty well hooked immediately by the psychology lessons. I sort of knew it all, but I certainly didn't practice any of it. I was pretty determined to do that fairly quickly, and because I've got about million in the market in total, it was pretty easy for me to set up a SPAR 3 skills acquisition portfolio. And then I've set up SPAR 3 Investor US. Probably be quite happy to run 2 portfolios in parallel because I normally trade about on an individual trade. So that was all fairly comfortable. The methodology, however, is a completely different picture. So I've looked at every single one of the recommended trades so far, and I've got to say, I don't think I would have gone for any of them. But then again, I summarised my performance in a nutshell. Interestingly enough, virtually your universe of SPAR 3 Investor covers a lot of what I used to trade, but I was terrible on exit, basically. I could pick sometimes the entry, but shocking on exit. So I did really well during the GFC and the tech crash prior to that. And then the COVID downturn, because I was a bit of a vulture buyer. I was active, but not really following any methodology. And I wasn't charting either. I was basically listening to a hell of a lot of noise. I was almost going to go totally passive. Basically, I was going to go with a core portfolio of ETFs and another core of buy and hold and very little else, maybe about 10% in cash, but I thought I'd give it one more go without realising that that's probably at least a 6 to 12 month commitment in a situation where I'm living off my investments. So I'm sort of very keen to avoid major drawdown. But the reading, I found the Trading in the Zone a really interesting read, but the one that really knocked me out was Atomic Habits. I can see why it's a New York Times bestseller. That was a real eye-opener. So I'm actually using that. I didn't really need it for following the skills acquisition portfolio. That was sort of pretty straightforward, but I'm using it in my exercise regime to stop trying to do bloody personal bests every time I go to the gym and do things properly. My investing thing, I'd spend hours in the day just for some reason fascinated by the minuscule moves in the market, and it's just complete waste of time. I mean, talk about watching paint dry. I've recommended it to a whole bunch of people, including Trudy. I suppose in 2 respects, I'd never really considered or at least largely a paint block system before, and I found that a lot easier than I thought. And at some point, I'd sort of like to muck around with formulas and stuff, but I'm not sure about that. I think that's such a big investment in time and effort. Everybody's done it before, but the skills acquisition portfolio process is completely different to any process I've followed previously. I could well just simply I could see myself in 6 months, 12 months, potentially just having an ASX investor portfolio, a US investor portfolio, and maybe a smaller trader portfolio, one in each market. I'm using a system that has proprietary analysis software that basically looks for market entry, market exit signals, and I trade on those signals very, very rigorously with a very strict money management strategy and a very strict place the order strategy. With the first 2, the mindset and the process modules, I wouldn't have anything negative to say about those. I thought they were excellent. I could sort of see what you were trying to do straight away, and it all was consistent. Then I was reading the book, Trading in the Game. I'm very happy with it all. It's been great.